Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 10, biggest surprises so far. I want to thank all of you guys for being here tonight. We got a good group. I see you guys made your way in here really nicely. Hopefully you're having a great Tuesday. Real quick shout out, you guys see them up on the screen. You hear me brag about them every single day. That is our Patreon Army. Thank you so much for everything the Patreon Army does. Also our PDL sponsors, the Green Team. We're just about ready to kick in high gear and get into some Walking Dead chat. You guys know, hey, our off season, we had a blast. December, January, we got gaming going on, we got trivia going on, we got random things right around the corner. And the big news is The Walking Dead is coming up. We're not going to get into any spoilers tonight, so don't worry. We're not going to uncover any brand new information. But we are going to put on our Ben the Tin Man hats and funnel it down. We're also going to add kind of a mini segment to what we're going to do tonight. So it's called Ask the Army. And what I've done is I've posted some, just the option to ask some questions with our Patreon team. It's going to start out tonight. I've got 12, 13 questions. And I'm going to start doing this with you guys. So if you comment on the video, I know we get a ton of comments in the streams, but shoot me a message either in Messenger or on Patreon or our Facebook fan page and say, hey, Kills, this is what I want to talk about tonight. This is a good topic, and I'll do my best to get it into the stream. So hopefully you guys are having a great time. Everybody enjoying kind of everything that we're doing. I know it is a full slate of things. Not everybody can participate in everything that we do, but we're certainly going to do everything we can to keep our group close, connected, and count this Walking Dead thing down. When Walking Dead gets live, we're going to be doing 2 streams a day. We're going to be doing funnels, bold predictions, reactions, and yes, we will have some spoilers from time to time, but we're going to make sure that we announce them for everybody well in advance. So if you guys don't mind, we're going to go through and recap a little bit of the season because we want to know the biggest surprises. I mean, you know some of the big ones out there. Michonne leaving, it probably wasn't a surprise for us now, but it was a surprise when we first heard it. The way it's going to go down, the Dante, Siddiq, so a ton of good stuff. Let's start it out before we get to the Patreons with you. I want to start out, one more announcement. You guys probably see the merchandise pinned up top. That is available, but I'm also doing it to test it because this is a brand new YouTube format that allows us to move the interface a little bit, add some things. I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with it, but we are going to update some new gear, some new slogans, some sayings, some things from some of our other videos. But, yeah, I just want to kind of test it to see if you guys can see it okay, if it looks good, and if it does, cool. Let me start out with the Green Team and the remainder of our army. Everybody's here right now. Let me get some questions out there. What are you most anxious to see in the second half? So, and we're going to tie that into some of the surprises because I think that when you say what you're looking forward to, we can probably tie it back into something that created that event in the first place. So, get a couple people's thoughts and comments. I got some veterans in here that have been here for a long time. Speak up. Speak it up, everybody. And then I'm going to jump over and get some of the Ask the Army and get some of the Patreon comments in here as well. Some are really good. So you're going to have to take a step back and answer. PewDiePie, Darkstar, I have not even seen that like in a long time. I don't have a lot of time for YouTube channels. I don't even watch my own, so I don't know. I don't know what the other phrases are out there. Hippo says it's going to be Alpha's head. Ben wants to know, how is the Alpha story going to play out? Well, Ben, I think that ties in with a couple other things because people want to know about the Commonwealth. They want to know about Maggie. They want to know about, there are pictures out there of Negan in a whisper mask. He's looking a little bit more ferocious, I guess. And Aisha Malik wants to know who survives the cave. Well, without getting directly into spoiler information, I just don't feel strongly about Connie. There's just something about the Connie situation and the Daryl relationship that I want her to make it. I just don't feel like she's going to make it. not new gear crawfish, new gear. It's like, he's like, new gear, new PDL gear. We play it. No, new, tank tops, colors, logos, slogans. Some of the events that have happened. We'll talk about it tomorrow night. I'm going to mention some of the PDL stuff tomorrow night when we do our. I'll make an announcement at the end of this. Darkstar doesn't think anyone dies. And what do you guys think? You guys agree with that? You think that it's all just a facade? It's like they're setting it up to make it real dramatic. That would be too much like Fear of the Walking Dead, wouldn't it? Like to make you think that somebody's going to die and just save everybody over and over again. I don't think so. I think they're serious. I think the second half there are going to be some shocking deaths. They're gonna thin it out. I think in the second half, they're going to thin out some of the characters on The Walking Dead the way I've been thinning out my friends list in the last 2 weeks. It is going to be fast and furious. And even if you look at some of the interviews right after they finished, the one thing that they keep saying is pace. They keep talking about how they had to get to a certain point of telling the story, and now it's just going to be like a race, like your heart's beating faster and faster. And first it was the paranoia. Now it's going to be somebody's chasing me type of thing. So here's a couple really good questions. And if you guys wouldn't mind, just participate. Help us out with some of these answers because the Army has asked. I'm going to start out with our very own Mariah Campese. Mariah wants to ask, how are they going to have Michonne exit? And as a tie-in question to that, there's a question about why would Michonne leave her children behind? And that's Moonshot. So Moonshot asked a follow-up and said, I don't understand how Michonne is going to leave her kid, and does that set up Michonne coming back later? So Mariah wants to know how Michonne leaves, and Jason is like, what's the deal? She's on an island, and a lot of people would probably die to get back to their kid. Michonne seems like it's going to be a little bit interesting. We got E Beach in the house. What's going on, my man Eric? Thanks so much for popping in. Appreciate that that entrance and that super chat. And jump on into the conversation, man. We're having a good time. But I think right? That's probably, as we said, it started out as a surprise that Michonne was leaving. Now, and we did a stream and ask, how is she going to leave? And maybe you guys can help out. Volunteer, raise your hand. What's up, Jim Kelly? How many people here initially said that Michonne was coming back and getting back to Alexandria? And now how many people are backtracking on that and saying, okay, yeah, I might have. Because, well, I got in a lot of trouble from you guys. Not all of you, but a good portion of you. Really, you came after me with my bold prediction. Just a quick show of hands. If you were in the stream where I kind of went on and on and on several times and said, look, there's no way she's getting back. She's going to be stuck on the island. Something's going to happen. She's only going to be there for another show. And I remember, they're like, no way, Kills. She's going to make it. And we broke it down, right? We're like, well, she's a day and a half away. Then she's got to drive back. And they're already a certain place. And now it seems like, to answer that overall question, something has to pull her a little bit further away. Now, will she leave on her own? Or will she possibly be the next that is taken? I mean, we're assuming, and maybe incorrectly, that she's just going to find a clue and go find Rick. What if they take her and like, no, we need her as well. You got to come with us. Possibility? I mean, that does prevent it answers a lot of questions, right? It makes it to where she didn't get a chance to go back. it makes it so she doesn't have to be in that dilemma of choosing Rick or choosing her kid. And it makes it a little sad. Like that, to Jason's point, maybe she does fight to make her way back. So Gemstone says she will not leave her kids because she wants to. So that does play into that narrative. So here's my follow-up question, and I've said this, right? And Jason, I think we didn't say it because we're so convinced that it's going to be her love and her quest to find Rick that is what pulls her away. And although that sounds good if you're single and you don't have kids, but when you have that responsibility, it feels like, no, I need to table this with Rick. And here's why. Here's another reason why that could happen. If she certainly knew that Rick was alive, would you leave to find Rick, or would you say, you know what? Let me go back, finish this war, pick up Judith, and let's go find Rick together. So it's starting to look more and more like she may not have a choice. And I'm going to ask the obvious question. If there was a person coming back to the show, would it make more sense for Michonne to come back or for Rick to come back? Who do you think is most likely to possibly come back and be a regular on the show again? I see, wow, I see some faces here. I see Lindsay Luke. Good to see you again, Lindsay. It's almost Walking Dead season. I'm seeing our group start to show back up in full effect. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you spending some time with us tonight. So, although there are some people, Jim, come on, Jim. You know Rick's not coming back. There's some that speak with their heart to certainly want Rick back. But, you know, I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. I think it's bad advertising to hype something up and say Rick's final 2 episodes and then tune in tonight for Rick's final episode and then 2 years later bring Rick back. The fans won't mind it. There's no doubt that we'd accept him back with open arms. But you got a couple problems there. One, you kill the movie franchise possibility if you start leaning toward that. And secondly, they know what they're doing. So if they know what they're doing, they had to plan it, I think, for Rick's exit. I think anything else is just good. It's good conversation. Now, Eric, that I could lean into a little bit more. Eric says, I believe Rick will return, but at the end of The Walking Dead. So, yeah, I would have less problem with it then than if he left and then he pops back in and it's like, hey, we lied to you a year and a half ago. We said it was Rick's final episode, but it's not. Show needed him back. Fans love him too much. Look, we know we love him too much. We didn't want him to leave in the first place. No, it was somebody else, Jim. No, it was Jim Kelly, James Kelly. We got Jims and Jameses and yeah, we got a lot. We got a lot, and I think it's time for a commercial break. I think now's the time that all of our viewers coming back to The Walking Dead, we need to take this brief moment and hit that like button, everybody. Show a little bit of love. Hit that like button. You're a part of the 999 Army. You are super excited about The Walking Dead coming back. If you're going to be here for The Walking Dead, for spoilers, for recaps, for reactions, for bold predictions, for Fear the Walking Dead, for anything Walking Dead related, then show the people watching. She's all now she's criticizing the. I don't think that's a criticism. It's a Southern drawl. It's like when I say bandit armor and it comes out bandit. Really sounds like the same thing, doesn't it? So Robin Vance, that's a good point. I want Rick and Daryl to see each other again. Yeah, in the movies. Slim Jim Shady. There you go. All right. You'll be known as Slim Jim Shady. All right, let me get to another question. This is my man Eric Beach says, is Maggie bringing the Commonwealth? That would be a shock, wouldn't it? I'm going to say no, Eric. I think I feel like Georgie's group is unrelated. But how many groups could we potentially see out there? And is that the next storyline? Is it the Commonwealth is this huge, massive community, and some of these other communities either get absorbed? I mean, it's kind of more of the same, isn't it? I mean, isn't that like the story of the Saviors? And isn't that kind of the story of the Whisperers? So, is it the goal of the Commonwealth to go out there and just make this community one big community? Or are we going to start to have these powerhouses sort of grow, and it's going to create these little these tribal type of wars where it's one military versus the other military? I mean, do you guys think that's the next phase of The Walking Dead? We went from people against undead to militia versus militia, maybe, to society versus the de-evolution of society. I mean, it does make sense as far as progression to heavy military versus heavy military. And I just don't see Rick going like, straight Terminator Commando mode unless there's some people out there that are formidable. I mean, you guys don't see Rick like in a helicopter dropping down on one of those little ladders with a machine gun in one hand and a bayonet sword in the other hand, taking out people like at Herschel's farm. I mean, and I'm being facetious, but I think the story is that there has to be these different segments of military that have different goals. Now, I guess after 10 years, my question for the group is that will we support that? Because now it's not a sci-fi. Now it's not a zombie horror. Now it's an action. Are we ready for The Walking Dead to become an action adventure? Or does it have to become action adventure because there's only so much dead story you can tell? I mean, think about that for a second. I mean, we certainly want the writers to be creative. But is there anything new they can show us? Grow some more strawberries. You get trapped and surrounded by walkers. I think this is the next set of progression. And look, we can always go back to the walkers later on. So Eric, I'm going to say no. Maggie's not bringing the Commonwealth. So let me jump over to Crystal Newfield. Crazy L says, has Negan actually joined the Whispers? If so, why? What does he have to gain, and where does it leave him when the Whisper story ends? I believe he has infiltrated them not to become one, rather to gain trust and intel to defeat them. All right, so I'm going to go super bold here. Because as I mentioned the scenario for Michonne, I'm going to give you guys a third scenario that we don't often discuss. You guys ready for something? Maybe it's refreshing. Maybe it's an aha moment. But I like it. It makes me smile whenever I think about it. So I'm going to go with this, and hopefully you guys will hear me out and see what you think about this. So we're so determined to say it's A or B, right? Rick is with the Whispers. I'm sorry, not Rick. Negan is with the Whispers, or Negan is got this sneaky plan to betray them. We got Fluff the flamethrower. It'd be funny, pretty funny if Rick had amnesia and thought he was going to go Montoya and told people to prepare to die. Fluffy. Come on, Fluff. I guess that's a creative play on amnesia. Okay. Fluff's the flamethrower is known for one of those a night. So Julia says betray. So why does it have to be A or B? Why can't it be option C? Option C. Maybe it's both. Maybe Negan left to see if the grass was greener with no intent whatsoever. No sneaky master plan. Let me get in with these people, see how I fit in, see what happens, and sell the story to the viewers. So when we watch, we're not looking back saying, I know he's got some up his sleeve. I know he's got some up his sleeve. Maybe he doesn't have anything up his sleeve. Maybe he's there, and something will happen where he will betray the Whispers. But why not give it a shot? Look, he tried to save your life. Didn't work out so well for him. He tried prison life. Didn't like that. Why not head on out and see if another group accepts you? So, I got to ask, if Negan is valued, if option A is being prison and then they let you out and kill you, or option B is, it's barbaric, but I get to live and I get to be a part of something again. Now, I'm not necessarily asking you guys that option because it's a tough option. And all the Alexandrians have shown Negan so far is they want to kill him. So now, at the current state of his existence, he's a part of something. So I don't know that we need to have either faith in Negan or we need to hold Negan accountable at this point. I think the story is meant to push us more forward into the story and have us make that decision later on with Negan simultaneously based on whether, wait, she's getting ready to put Judah's head on a pike. That ain't going to fly. Now I have my moment. Wait a minute. She's getting ready to put Aaron's head on a pike. I don't really care about Aaron. He was going to kill me anyway. I'm perfectly fine with living through Negan's emotions for a few episodes. I don't need to decide right now what his intent is. I want to let the story play out a little bit more and see if the writers can challenge us with it. Well, I don't know. See, Dimes, in the past, I would agree with you. I don't agree that he's calculated right now. I think there's a certain part of Negan that is done with Alexandria. And that's the part of they want to kill me. So Tom Ferreira says, I personally think Negan is going to stay a neutral so far, but not a full-fledged hero villain, just in between. I agree 100% with Bugzilla. I agree with Tom 100%. I think neutral gives him charisma. It gives him pizzazz. It gives him unpredictability. When Negan becomes nice and predictable is when he exits the show. And I don't think they're ready for that yet. And I'm just gonna caution, be careful what you wish for. If you wish for a Daddy Negan for Judith, I think the story is just going to it's gonna go on without him. Great challenge questions, great debate questions. See, Rocket Crockett, that's my thing too. And this is why, look, I know many people are going to say, well, it's part of the bigger plan. I think it is a self-fulfilling prophecy. I think it becomes part of the bigger plan. I don't think it is his master plan right now. Got to get away from these people. They were going to kill me. I'm going to stroll out here. And, well, you know what? I was going to fight that big bad dude. They didn't kill me. Why not hang out with them for a little while? All good answers. All good answers and great debate. I mean, it really depends on where you stand with Negan. And I've got my own reservations with Negan. I mean, there's sometimes I like some things about him. There's sometimes I wake up in the morning and wish he was gone for what he did to Glenn and Abraham. Now, really, I don't wake up in the morning and think a whole lot about Negan. But I'm okay. You know, I guess in a way, we're all kind of Negan, right? So let's be Negan for a few episodes. Let's see how it plays out. I think we'll enjoy the Negan story a little bit more if we don't trust him 100%. Don't give him the benefit of the doubt. Don't necessarily think he's there for Judith. But he may ultimately be making a decision for Judith's well-being. And I do think, look, if it gets to that, that will be a plot shift right there. So I got a couple questions, and I'm going to get to Tom Bug Ferreira Super Chat. Since Jeffrey Dean Morgan said Negan's arc this season ain't about redemption, but something else, which makes me think he will stay neutral. I fully agree with that. So let's break down Bug's Super Chat here for a second. So if his arc is not about redemption, then there's two parts to that, Tom. One, I think the writers feel there's already a certain amount of redemption has taken place. Would you guys agree with that? That, look, we don't need to earn any more favor. You're either, at this point, everybody is where they're at on Negan. I don't know that there's a whole lot. Let's ask everybody real quick. How many people are okay with Negan, and how many people are going to say, I don't care what he does, I'm never going to trust him? 100%. I may let him pick strawberries way over there, but I'm never going to trust him. I want to get a few thoughts in here, everybody. So if it's not about redemption, and Fluff says, I'm okay with him. Dark Star. Okay. Okay with him. I'm good with my man. Team Negan. I trust Negan. He ain't lied to me yet. I'm cool with Negan. Negan is okay. I like Negan. Don't trust him, but he could be an asset to the group. Love Negan. Still don't trust him. All right, so here's my question. Are there people that Alpha could kill that you think would not faze Negan one way or the other? And if so, name a couple people. Name a couple people, if Alpha killed them and put their head on a spike, Negan would be like, whatever. I mean, does Negan care if Jerry dies? Yeah, I mean, who are some people that Negan is indifferent toward? Yeah, I mean, Negan, maybe Lindsay. I mean, Negan and Rosita don't seem to be super friendly. Tony DeMarzo says, anybody from Magnus Group, I would agree with that. I mean, anybody really, really want Magna to live at this point? I mean, I don't think I'm a fan. I get it. She went through some rough stuff. But Magna's done some shady stuff, like since day one. She's done like 3 or 4 shady things. See, Father Ron, I would agree. I would disagree with that. I think of all the people out there, Judith, Michonne, and Daryl, to me are probably Lydia as well. But Judith, Michonne, and Daryl are probably 3 people that Negan might take a different stand if it got to that point. So I guess kind of what I'm saying, I would not be shocked if Negan has to witness a major death on the show and perhaps does nothing about it. And is it possible? You guys saw the picture of Negan with the mask on, right? I think most did. So I'm going to say that scene of Negan standing there, that people have made some rather perverse suggestions with him standing there with his shirt off. I'm going to say that has something to do with maybe Negan getting his own mask. That I think they're going to push Negan to a little bit darker side, and they're really going to make the audience stop and pause and question whether or not he has this master plan and he really is on, I say it lightly, our side. I think it's going to be a difficult choice for the viewers, and I think that's going to be a difficult thing for people to watch, is if you get to a point where you think, because right now, look, This is what many of us think. We're losing the war. It's all right. We got Negan in on the inside. I mean, how many people think that, right? Even though looks like Alpha's got a little bit of control, we know how bad Daryl and Carol are, and we got somebody there. We're going to win eventually because Negan's there. So because that is the consensus opinion by most, it would benefit the writers to push our limits without making us hate Negan again. Almost as if he needs to do enough to blend, to survive, to experiment, to, is this what he wants? Without pushing us to those memories of Glenn and Abraham again. Because if he gets to a point where he is decapitating somebody that's a beloved member of our group, bets are off. People will turn on him faster the second time than they did the first time. All right, I got a couple more comments I want to get in here. This is our very own Glenda Batista. Says, wondering if Jerry and Connie make it out of the cave. So a couple people touched on this already, Glenda. I don't think Connie makes it out of the cave. And somebody said they think Jerry suffers a pretty big injury. I think Jerry makes it. I don't think Connie makes it. Dimes had mentioned she believes that Negan is infiltrating the Whispers to destroy from the inside out. Do you agree? I think I've said I disagree. It's all right. Me and Dimes are still friends. We can disagree. And Amanda Unforeseen Tomlin says, who thinks Lydia will be the one to take the Walker off the edge to stop them from taking over? Will we get to see Georgie again? Two-part question. So, does Lydia possibly get Andrea's story arc? You know, that's kind of a beautiful prediction. I could absolutely see Lydia destroying what Alpha has created. I think that is one of the most brilliant ideas that is out there. Lydia knows the herd. She knows the importance of the herd. She knows the area. I can absolutely see that happening. Yeah, I agree. I agree Lydia's going to die, but I think giving Lydia Andrea's death, I think would be great. Yeah, that's good. Bug Ferreira says, I think Negan will hear possibly how they treated Lydia. I'm thinking, Tom. It's a whole different level of controversy, but I certainly think they could imply it without being graphic about it. And this is why I agree with Tom. And I think this would make a great story. Let's say for a minute that Tom is right. Actually, this is two good back-to-back theories. All right, just for a second, let's pretend, those of you that think Negan has a mastermind approach, let's pretend he doesn't. And he really is looking to get in with a new group. They're creepy. Doesn't like the mask. But to his knowledge, they're trying to survive. And he gets wind of some things that have happened. Now, without typing the word that is going to get flagged on YouTube, what does Negan absolutely despise and prevent from happening? You guys know exactly where I'm going with that. So if there's one thing about Negan that he absolutely cannot stand, and you guys remember Davey, you do not force yourself on people. And when Negan finds out that Alpha allowed that to Lydia, if the TV show follows the comic arc, that's absolutely a defining moment, and why that would push Negan away. Now, it's a paradox, though. Because if you already believe that Negan is there to betray them, I don't think it has the same impact. So stick with me for a minute. If you believe he's neutral, and he really is trying to blend in with this group, then his frustration and his vengeance is real. If he's there to trick them anyway, it's still vengeance, but there's no revenge, and there's still justification, I guess. It just takes it to a different level if he discovers it and he was open-minded toward joining the group. That's why I feel like we're going to kind of straddle that line of neutrality a little bit. Tom, I agree with you tonight. I think your comments are spot on. And we got a couple more questions, and it is Father Ron Moore. Who will be the group's next doctor? Will Maggie bring some people back? You know, it's a good question. There's always kind of that person. It's like a, understudy nurse that just gets promoted all of a sudden. And Ron, there'll be a story. It's kind of easy. All you got to do is just introduce a Dante. Hey, who are you? And it's like his back. Well, I was a military doctor, and yeah, I did. Okay, you're fine. So if they can't create one, they'll find one. You always need a doctor. And Ben the Tin Man. How will we see the communities fall, and how many will fall? And you know what? I think that's a good question to start to wind us down. So, how many communities will fall? Alexandria is going to fall. We've seen that firsthand. It is right in front of our face that Beta and the whole crew, they're overrunning Alexandria. Kingdom's already fallen. I think Oceanside is done. We've been predicting Jules as a spy for a while. Now, she may not end up being a spy, but I think we'd be naive to think that, okay, look, they've been watching Hilltop, they've been watching Alexandria, and they just left Oceanside out there by himself. I'm sure if it's not Jules, that group is very close, and I'm gonna stake a bet on it. They are so close to Oceanside that when Luke and Scott try to take Judith back, something is going to go down on that road back. It was too boring of a trip for them to go to Oceanside and then make a plan to come back to Alexandria to not have something happen to them on the way back. Now, I know you're going to say, no, they met Virgil. Yes, they did. But basically, Judith was like a boomerang. Oceanside and going back. I don't think that group is going to make it back without some major, major interruptions. And I would be surprised. I feel like they're going to get separated. Either Luke is going to end up dying very soon. Scott's never going to die. Scott's like the new Tara. In fact, Scott's going to be the cure. But that leaves us with, and you guys know there were pictures about Hilltop and some burning, but I think Hilltop stands. I think Hilltop will be damaged, but I think that Hilltop gets semi-destroyed. Maggie comes back, sees it, goes absolutely nuts, feels responsible because she left it behind. And Maggie becomes a big part of the story. Redemption arc. Negan's arc may not be about redemption. Maggie's arc needs a certain amount of redemption. Now, it's ironic that Maggie hasn't done even 1/10 of the things that Negan did, but I would say on a popularity contest right now, Negan's more popular than Maggie. So there's going to be a little bit of that going on. So they save Hilltop. I think that's a good transition for Maggie to come back and see that and really show she's in it till the end. Thank you so much, Goucher Goucher. Appreciate you being here. So, Lindsay said, here's a theory. Maggie's there to bring the survivors to Commonwealth. Thoughts? If she's even a part of Commonwealth. See, that's what's confusing. Where's Rick? Does Maggie even know the Commonwealth? See, I'm still a little concerned about that. I think Rick is with the Commonwealth. I think Maggie and Georgie's group is just something a little bit different. All good suggestions, all good options. You know, it is good to be back with each and every one of you talking about The Walking Dead. I mean, it's just awesome once we get in and we start breaking it down and brainstorming and you can start to feel that excitement sort of build up little by little by little. Like 3 weeks, and we're going to be right back in it all over again. So we have hit we've hit about 50 minutes. So we are going to wind the stream down. Just going to give you guys a quick overview, just some schedule things, some things that are important to us. Thank you so much, Goucher Goucher. Appreciate that. So much content, so many things going on with our channel. Tomorrow night, we'll be doing, if you guys have been away for a little while, check out our Play Dead live game. Hang out with us a little bit. Even if you don't like playing the game, hang out. It's a lot of freestyle topics and good conversation, and it's kind of the backbone of where we started our channel, so we get back to our roots a little bit. Then on Thursday night, we're going to be right back here talking about The Walking Dead. We've had some of our best scenes that we've talked about. You guys have submitted some really, really good ideas, so we're going to tackle that again, to go back through memory lane, whether it's Season 1, Season 2. When we start to see these images up there and talk about them, it's refreshing to know how we all started watching The Walking Dead and shows we haven't seen for a long time. Then Friday night, we're going to be doing our Freestyle Friday segment. Very loose, casual, good time. And then at 9:30 Friday night, we're going to be doing Play Dead Live, Crowley's Farm. So it's going to be our second scenario. Saturday all day, we'll be streaming, so pop in, pop out. A little bit of Play Dead Live. And then Sunday night, we're going to be doing our countdown to The Walking Dead. And that's going to be kind of our week for the next couple weeks. We'll be doing 3 or 4 Walking Dead streams. We want to get everybody included. And when we get the week of the Walking Dead season, you're probably going to see... Are you guys excited to do about 10 Walking Dead streams a week? Because I know, man, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. But then you're going to start to see your spoilers, your recaps, your reviews, your bold predictions, and then we'll take down different segments of it and absolutely break it down. So thanks to everything that you guys do. People have been here six and a half years doing YouTube broadcast, and I see some faces that we see some people that are just gamers to pop in for the stream. We see some people that are just hardcore Walking Dead fans. I think we've got one of the most awesome families that you'll find anywhere to get together and talk about a show. Let's prove it right. Let's prove that we got a very strong-willed group, and we're the most passionate group out there when it comes to talking about our favorite TV show. Let me give a lot of shout-outs because I want to start with our patrons in the top left-hand corner. Thank you for everything that you guys do. Absolutely incredible group. There's a link down below if you guys decide you want to become a patron. PDL sponsors sponsor our Play Dead Live game, and we're going to be sending out some packs next month with some keepsakes, some of our original gameplay items. Green Team, amazing. We got that green team. We got custom emojis. I am going to ask Kel to set up a poll that is going to be, you guys jump in on that Facebook poll. We're ready to nominate our very next super fan of the month. It's going to be one of you guys. We want to get somebody that has not won yet. So if you guys have some opinions or somebody that would make a nice emoji, somebody that just adds value to the channel, has been here for a long time, get over to our Facebook fan page. And I'll have Kel set up that. You guys vote for it. And then we're going to create a custom emoji for you and give you a whole lot of shout-outs. So shout out to my mods, the Kill Squad, Julia, Amy, Tommy, Ben, and of course, Kel. Says smile. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, Kimberly G, 999 for life. And I saved the best for last. And that is everybody in the stream right now. So give me some 999s. I want to read everybody's name here. If you're not getting excited about The Walking Dead in 3 weeks, you do not have a pulse. Let's get some 999s working in here. If you've been here for a long time, 1 year, 2 years, 6 years, and continue to come back each and every year, let's see it. Let's show some love and some support. And hit that like button on the way out the door. We got Hippo in the house. We got Ben the Tin Man. We got Darkstar 999. Darkstar is PDL sponsor, member, 999 for life. We got Corey Connell, sorry. Thank you, Corey. Appreciate that. Diana C, thank you so much. Ocean Man. Father Ron, thank you, Father Ron. Rocket Crockett. Come on, everybody. I need to see 999s from everybody. Lynn Nesbitt, thank you so much. Moonshot, good to see you. Melissa Conrad, thank you. Acolyte Julie J in the house. Tammy Hill, Deadly Dimes. Debbie R., good to see you, Debbie. Thank you so much. Lionel, thanks for being here. Mary Manhard. Sister Singer Chick, appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Crystal. Cynthia Sexton, appreciate you. Slim Jim Shady Kelly, thank you so much, Slim Jim. Northside Queen, thank you so much, Northside Queen. Good to see you, Gusha Gushe. Thank you for watching the PDL battles last night as well. Appreciate that. We had a great time. Interesting dynamics. Crawfish, doctors in the Walking Dead universe. It's a job to die for. Pete was cut up. Denise kept an eye out. Carlson was too hot. Carlson 2 was fooling. Very good. You know what, Kels? Give Crawfish a kills coin for that. He might be up there with Fluff and Moonshot for kills coins now. Very good puns. Awesome, awesome group of people. Extremely humbled to hang out with you guys each and every night and just see the support you guys have for the show and the support you guys have for our channel and our family. Thanks so much. Have a great night. I will see everybody here hopefully tomorrow. We're going to do a late stream tomorrow and do a little bit of Play Dead Live introductory battles. So if you're brand new to the game, you don't know what we do, tomorrow night at 9 o'clock is going to be a stream that you're going to want to check out. That'll be kind of our introductory. We're going to do some training and some coaching, and hopefully we have a good time. See you all tomorrow. Peace.